Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Modern Market, where every day we discuss all things to do with the market. That is the crypto market, the NFT market, the stock market, the metals market, any way you can make some or hopefully a lot of money on the internet. Loaded up discussion today. We have majors and Mag 7 cooling down, but on-chain activity is coming back. Looking forward to that discussion. Brett will take us through some numbers there on how on-chain is cooking at the moment. Looking forward to hear that. Tom Lee's Bitmine announces a $200 million investment into Mr. Beast Industries. That is from his ETH treasury company, deciding to diversify a little bit into Mr. Beast. Didn't know that was allowed, but it's happened. So we'll get into those details. And Bags app crosses $100 million in volume in the last 24 hours, with the gas token surging to $40 million. We'll get into that in just a little bit today. We've also got the latest on price action in general and some market thoughts as always, so stay tuned for that. I've got Legendary and Brett in the co-host seats with me today. We're ready to get into it. Just a reminder, friends, before we do, nothing that we say here is financial advice. This market is very, very risky. We do not know anything for sure, so please proceed with caution and exercise your own judgment. With that out of the way, Brett, 2 out of 2 coming straight for you. How are you doing on this Friday, the 16th of January?
Did you plan to rhyme that? 2
out
of 2,
but I realized it was going to in the process, and then I thought this is going to sound pretty good.
I appreciate it regardless. Yeah, man. Thanks for the double intro. Yeah, things are cool. Things are fun. I've been very present on social recently, just because, like, man, I'm busy, really, really, really busy, trying to get Meg out the door, right? And so yesterday, I don't know what it was. I got possessed by the social demon in me. I ripped off some tweets, man. I got like 7 or 8 of them out there, across the spectrum. Some of them from podcasts, some of them from stuff I saw on the timeline. Did you see this StarkNet stuff?
I saw it because of you.
It's, which I guess is like part of like all marketing.
You want to explain what happened?
Yeah, man. Like I can't get over it. I woke up and it was the thing I had to read. So for everyone else, like if you haven't seen it, Solana is trying to position itself as like the on-chain exchange, right? So they've been doing that for a little bit now. They're trying to bring assets over to it. They bull posted near, and then they got Zek, and then Zek came over and like, oh, you can trade Zek on Solana. And now they're like trying to be buddy with StarkNet. And like, oh, you can trade Stark on Solana.
Were our partners yesterday. They launched obviously on Base, but it was also tradable on Solana as well.
Yep. And I went back and forth with Vibhu is the marketing guy over there. And I'll finish the story. So StarkNet. All right, cool. They are notoriously not doing awesome, right? Like they're just like, I'm gonna be honest, like they're really technically sound, one of the like pioneers literally of half of the shit that you see in this industry, a little autistic is my interpretation, right? It's just that like they have no social awareness whatsoever. And and this is like, as an organization, it's really baffling how widespread it is. And they partner with Solana. Solana wants to list their token. All cool. They're very excited. They're getting a little bit of love from one of the bigger people in the industry. And what's the campaign that they ran is they had Solana heavily dunk on them with a meme post, which was like, hey, StarkNet has 0 users. It's, has 8 users. It's overvalued, whatever. Like the Solana main account did that a couple days ago, or I guess 2 days ago. And everyone engaged with it, like, bro, what the hell is a PvP? Cool. And then today or yesterday, Solana quote tweets that and says, actually, StarkNet is now available on Solana. It's very exciting. Like, we're all happy. And the Stark people are like, oh, this is great. Like, good marketing. And which they got 3 million impressions on the previous one, which is like objectively a good number. But then so I looked at it, it's like, I just can't believe anyone signed off from the StarkNet side. It makes sense for Solana W's all around, but on the StarkNet side, it's like, man, you're just like totally degrading yourself in an official campaign, and you're endorsing it and then making sure that, like everyone's just like all excited about it. It's just like, man,
I get the sense at the moment, man, and you'll know this more than me, being in like the official kind of marketing, go-to-market kind of position. What's the sense? It feels like people will do anything for views now, like almost anything. Like nothing's really off the table, just lying, saying things that are not true, making stuff up, doing outrageous things. Did Gabriel Haynes set himself? I didn't watch this. Did he set himself on fire the other day?
No,
okay,
he didn't.
Okay, but as in like this is what I mean, right? So I heard that that was such a ludicrous thing, and so okay, I guess I kind of know about the team who suggested it because of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not on the chain. I think it's a ludicrous way to to market. I don't think that's going to help your blockchain win. But I don't know. Is that just the way things are going? I mean, you'll know this better than me. You speak to all the teams. You know how people operate a bit more. I'm curious for Ledger's perspective on this as well, because I know he's speaks to a lot of teams too.
Yeah. So what I'll say is directionally, yes, but there's levels to this, right? So it's like, yes, people are understanding that like you get views at all costs, but like there's ways you can go about it. And then that gets in the hands of people who just like literally interpret that kind of stuff. And you can achieve the same thing or try to do the same thing, but do it in like a tasteless or bad. I'm not saying it's tasteless. I think it was dumb, but it was not tasteless way, right? So like I feel like that strategy, which like you can do and you can do it in a good way that gets a lot of attention, does a lot of stuff, but it's like also beneficial for your brand. You could do that, or you could just like take a hatchet and start like hacking away at something and come away with like, oh, look, I carved a pumpkin. I'm like, no, bro, you fucked up your pumpkin. Like, yeah, sure. Like we saw you doing it, but like you fucked up your pumpkin, brother. Like you wanted to preserve the pumpkin and they're just fucking hacking at it because they think this is what everyone's doing. This is the cool thing. This is whatever. And I think that, yeah, they went that way for me.
Ledge, what do you think?
I sort of have a theory here of what is going on in general. So I feel
Explain the formula.
Let me try to put it into nice words. So on the one hand, you have so many more sophisticated things happening on the agentic side of things, all of these very, very fascinating developments. And I feel like as
very refined.
Yeah, if as this refinement is increasing, as this degree of sophistication is increasing, at the same side, to basically balance that scale, the stupidity is increasing on the other end. And I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand. So like the left and the right curve are trying to balancing each other out. And as we see more sophistication, we also see more idiocy on the other side.
A unique human trait. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, for now.
I don't mind it, but just for the people who are curious, like the rage bait thing doesn't hit with me. Like I just mute. There's a lot of people that are going on mute now. Anyone who does these, again, look, maybe it's the difference between going for mass and maybe this is what the masses want. And I just have to accept, okay, I'm not the masses. Because if you do that, I mute and I move on to people who are not like screaming and shouting and trying to desperate for the eyes and the attention, trying to like listen more carefully and thoughtfully to. I actually think to Legendary's point, I think you can actually go both ways. You can either create stuff which is that, which will get maybe mass, or you can cut through that on the other side with the more, thoughtful, to the point, insightful stuff. And but it probably won't get the numbers. That's the only drawback. But
there's actually a beautiful social theory for that puts that concept into more beautiful words. It's complexity polarization that describes exactly that. That is
complex who?
Complexity polarization, as like society gets more complex on the one side, there's simplification happening on the other side, which definitely also applies to social media as well then.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just like we always, it's just a human thing. We always see overcorrection in one direction that then begs the swing that are like same thing with like the TradFi wife phase that like spawned out for a little while. Like everyone's so liberal for a long time. Then like now there was all these people who were like, you know what, I want to be the stay-at-home wife and I want to take care of the kids and I want to do the whatever. It's just like a human urge to like see what is like the thing or the trend and then want to pull into the other direction. And I would say that happens on a ton of spectrums.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Indeed.
I have another thing that's on my mind before we get started with the show. So because I haven't noticed any of these things happening, which you described, Brett. And for me, the thing right now is that I am, I'm heavily getting into my agentic era. I am building orchestrators myself to coordinate multiple agents, and I'm also working on 4 or 5 things at the same time. And basically, everything is happening so fast, and these tasks complete so fast that every couple of minutes, I'm required to do additional inputs. And this velocity is impacting me. So I feel like super energized, but somehow also stressed the entire day running around because I see the pace basically that agents are setting, and I'm trying as a mere human to keep up with that. And I basically, for no reason, because I'm achieving way more than I could ever achieve before, feel super stressed because these agents are working so fast. And I'm really, and I wanted to say that to be before the show on our pre-show call, like I'm really looking forward to the weekend because I feel like my brain needs a break from the speed and I can't keep up anymore.
Because your agent workforce is also taking a break, and therefore they won't hound you to like push forward their workload.
This is,
You know how I know he's not lying is because I woke up this morning as I was scanning Twitter again. I
Yeah.
came across a post that was actually useful that I bookmarked and threw in my AI subfolder. And you know what it was? It was a guy who created, huh?
The React best practices skill, or
No, it's okay. This is also proof to show that Legendary is actually doing what he's talking about. So he had that, and then this one was a someone that created a I think it was an agent specifically that just rounds out or does the full security testing against Superbase underlying, and I go into it. It's like the fact that I said that, bro, I'm sure B-Check has no fucking idea what I just said right there. Those are all mumbo jumbo words. And underneath that was a Legendary comment. It's like, hey, this is super useful. Thank you for doing this thing. Like, so
Meta Alchemist posted that one.
yeah. And it's just that like people are using Superbase. Superbase is a lightweight database you can use to like spin up a thing really quickly. And it's just like security practices for spinning up a Superbase instance to make sure that he can have something that's really well done. And Legendary's in there. Our famous gotcha GCR or whatever the hell you were spinning and winning. Now he's commenting on the super mega technical AI website creator posts.
I like it.
Transition complete.
Just so you know, Brad, I'm in the education sphere as well. I'm playing with it. I'm gonna get that. I'm getting in the bed as well now. So
we have to bookmark off, see whose bookmark folder grows faster.
Yeah, we'll check our bookmarks. Right, look, we've got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Let's get into it as usual. To get us up to speed with everything that's been happening in the last 24 hours, some stuff that is getting active, which we like to see. So starting with the price action in the majors is pretty cool though. So Bitcoin is down 1% at 95.4K. ETH is down 1% to 3.3. BNB is flat at 935. Sol's down 1% to 143. We have Hyperliquid is flat around $25. Zcash down 5 to 413. Sui is, where is Sui? Sui is, well, I can't even see it. It's down 3% to $170.
You're on it.
In terms of the meme coin side of things, we've got Doge down 4% to 13 cents. Pump is up a couple of percent. Trump is down 1%. Pengu's down 3%. So all of these coins that have been around for a long time, either the majors or even the memes, are kind of like down 1% or 2%, something like that. It's the other stuff, the new stuff that's been moving. And that's why I think people are getting a bit more excited now, considering that we might be hitting a more active phase. So getting into the headlines, yes, we'll talk about majors and Mag 7 cooling down and how some of the on-chain activity is picking up. We'll talk Tom Lee's Bitmine announcing $200 million investment into Mr. Beast Industries. And we'll talk about the Bags app crossing $100 million in volume in the last 24 hours, with the gas token in particular surging to 40 mil. But honestly, there's been loads of things moving on Solana in the last 24 hours. And actually, even before that this week too, we started to see the signs of that. That's what got me bidding on a couple of tokens this week as well. Some news from around the space, the other news around from the space, X announces InfoFi platforms have their access removed. Kaito being the primary InfoFi platform, the thing that brought that term to the masses, down 20% on that news to a 560 mil FTV. They announced they're going to do Kaito Studios now, which sounded like a Web3 marketing agency with some AI tools. but with more details to be released. So haven't really got the full picture there of how they're going to pivot, because that is a lot of their business model hit, I think. Ondo announces partnership with Felix Protocol to bring tokenized stocks to Hyperliquid. And we were talking about this yesterday. Legendary said he wants this to allow borrowing against them. So that is an interesting development. We'll see when that gets brought live. I think that's going to, my prediction will be that will be happening everywhere during the course of this year, this calendar year. Interactive Brokers announces 24/7 funding with USDC. I think that's a really big deal to be able to get your USDC dollars into an official stocks account. Dreamcash announces HIP3 perps market built on top of Hyperliquid. This is by Tether and Selene Capital. I think this is also a big deal. I think that will be one to sign up for when it's ready. And I think they've got a mobile platform as well. So that'll be cool to be able to trade on Hyperliquid on mobile. Sport.fun token launches, and since it's around 90 mil market cap, we were proud to partner with them yesterday to bring the news around their TGE and their future plans. Markets by Kinetic launch Baba with leverage on chain, the only place to trade Alibaba on chain. You can just feel it. Everything is going to be a tidal wave this year, I think, of being able to get access to a lot of commodities, stocks, everything. Saturn announced $800,000 of funding from Yeezy Labs, providing 11% yield generated by the strategies, Michael Saylor's STRC offering. So that's an interesting way to offer a stablecoin. And then finally, Pudgy Penguins announced collaboration with Man City Football Club for a premium collectible. Unfortunately, they picked the wrong Manchester team. That is a diabolical decision from the people in charge at Pudgy Penguins. It should have been United. So that is that. That's the news from around the space before we get into the main stuff today. Guys, what's catching our attention? Maybe going to Legendary first. Do you agree with my Manchester Alliance, Legendary, or you just don't care about football enough?
I just don't care about football. But you know, I agree. We are hosting the same show, so I'm happy to support the right Manchester, which then is Manchester United, I think.
It is. It is.
At least I know that there's another one, so that is already prime education in terms of football that you can expect from me.
Correct.
But where I want to touch on is the InfoFi thing. InfoFi is dead. Just want to break down the timeline of what happened from Yuhu's perspective, Yuhu being the founder of Kaito. So Yuhu, he said, on January 13th, we first received an email heads up for a potential reevaluation from their account manager. The day after, they received a legal notice from X, and they did issue their legal response on the same day, asking for a clarification over a call. Then the day after, which was yesterday, January 15th, Kaito did see Nikita's post where he said exactly what you outlined in the snapshot, that you can't use the X API for InfoFi posts and InfoFi business models anymore, at the same time as everyone else did. He also goes on to clarify it's not the first time they received legal notice from X, but the previous time they were able to figure that out with a new enterprise agreement, and that they already had been working on Kaito Studio for several months already, which apparently is to be a cross-platform studio integrating TikTok, integrating YouTube, go well beyond crypto. And this is also the new focus now that the apps have been sunsetted for the business, to build out that cross-platform solution with Kaito Studio.
Interesting. Brad, you've been a big yapper at different times. What do you make of this move from X to just shut the whole thing down, citing, look, there's too many AI bots. We think it might be, at least in part, contributed by this, so it's just got to go. What do you think?
I'm, in case X is listening right now, I'm going to say this is a brilliant decision, and I think this will make the platform better. I hopefully in our call that takes place later today to discuss the bread handle, they see this alignment and give me a discount.
Okay, perfect answer. Nothing more to say.
Never, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Feed you their B check. These guys are brilliant, and this is exactly what they should do for the benefit of their platform. No, actually, honestly, so the funniest thing for me because this comes on the tail end of the noise thing, which I'm sure you guys saw. And like
Yep,
so
we
like
touched on it yesterday.
yeah, so like, you know, I responded to that.
Just explain what it,
and
just in case like people don't know what noise is, just give the quick 10-second
yeah,
intro
10
before.
seconds is noise is a perps platform that was doing trading mindshare, right? So you would trade sentiment against it. And their biggest oracle, their main oracle was a Kaito oracle. You see it in like every one of their banners, every one of their things. They did it based on sentiment mindshare, and it was derived from Kaito data. And like the drama was they just did this big raise from Paradigm. In the announcement, they said, oh, we're actually launching on base instead of Mega ETH. It was notoriously something that we brought up through our accelerator, and gained a lot of traction. We're still happy for them, whatever. So it kind of didn't feel great for us. But then the very next day, one of the things that they are built atop of gets nuked. So that was the angle I saw this through. Yeah.
This is karma. Karmic retribution from Mr. Beer at X.
Yeah. And to their defense, like crypto mindshare is not something that they were long-term trying to build a top of. Like the dudes wanted to have like bell bottoms as a prediction market, right? You're not getting that from Kaito data. You're getting that from a different oracle sourced off chain. And it's like a mindshare thing relative to like the fashion industry kind of shit. So it's like,
so they're up to other things as well. Kaito is maybe just one of its things.
Correct.
Okay. That's interesting. Interesting context for something which we did touch on yesterday. Okay. Anything else, Brad, catching your attention from around the space?
Oh,
I've
I got
got
a
one
list.
thing.
I got a list.
You got a list?
Derived from your thing.
Well, why don't you pick one of them? Because we don't have forever, you know?
Okay, I'll go fast. One, did you guys cover Sui going down?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Sui went down. That's not great. Okay. Two, where the fuck is Birb? We're looking at tokens. We're talking now memes a little bit.
They published their billionaire thesis. Just 2 days.
Am I going to get a shit ton of Burbs delivered to my house, or am I going to get a token?
Well, like you're not going to get the Burbs because you didn't claim them. You're not going to get the physical Burbs, but you are going to get some Birb.
Are they useless now?
Is what useless?
Like I bought physical things, right? But like, but I didn't claim them. So did I buy a digital representation of a physical thing that I don't get the physical thing?
You bought digital representation.
Right. Is there any way for me to then
do you want $5,000 worth of physical Burbs?
No, I don't. But I want the thing that I have a ticket to. I want someone else who maybe wants that shit to be worth something. Like that's now I'm concerned that I bought digital tickets to a physical thing. I don't get the physical thing. I'm not going to get the digital thing, and I'm just going to be holding these fucking.
No, tickets. I think you're going to get the digital thing. This is not based on me reading all of the terms and conditions. This is me on just this is my good. Sometimes when people ask me my like legal opinion on stuff, I'll say things with certainty, but it's just like, look, what's the common sense thing here? What's the law is typically common sense. It's got to be common sense. You bought a lot of collectibles, whether you claim them or not. You're going to get your Burb. That's my prediction.
This is what's wrong with this fucking space. You buy a meme coin and the team on the back end says, bro, we're migrating. If you don't migrate with us, we're going to evaporate $80,000 that you bought into this fucking thing.
Some people do that. Some people do that. Spencer's
yeah, that almost happened with my pups bag. I bought that shit, and then like I had to stay up to date with them. And they're like, if I didn't see the tweet,
into the Birb conversation,
bro, they would have nuked me. It's just like the problem with this space. It's too noisy. You buy some shit, and they go, so, dude, we're bridging, and we're gonna do the BRC20 into the fucking runes. You don't. It's all Egyptian to you, and if you don't do it, you just nuked 5 to 6 figures overnight. Dude. It's just insane.
You got to leave that 5 to 6 figure thing in the past. That was you selling your BRC20 room.
I'm looking at my 5 to 6 figure thing now with this Birb shit. Like I bought a ticket. The ticket maybe I didn't claim because I didn't fucking wake up. It was Christmas. People are doing shit on the internet that I didn't see. And then now maybe I'm not getting my token. Man, it's scary out here.
Be a Birb
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're gonna be a Birb billionaire,
these guys.
I got really intense with the InfoFi meta, right? Where you're eligible because you are a yapper for this and that, but you would have, you should have
windows and
weeks ago, and you missed it already, and you would have to do a couple more things, and you missed it already, which ultimately is not a good thing if it's built like that, because then it just means you need to find artificial ways to filter people out because you know that the demand for your stuff is not that high.
Yeah, or the mechanism is a little fudged.
they've done like a whole load of different activations.
I'm not talking about Birb. I'm talking about the
Yeah, this is generally.
This is
Oh,
not.
I see.
Birb is doing
Understood.
great. They don't do shit like that.
Okay. Okay, so fingers crossed for becoming billionaires. That would be a nice thing to happen at some point soon.
Yeah. Correct.
One thing I wanted to know on the more tech side, this was a tweet that I found earlier today. A couple of tweets actually. I put these in the documents. Two things happening at Meta, and actually, for people who don't know, reading people's job descriptions are actually like a great way of predicting what's coming. Like, there's a lot of alpha in job descriptions. I've been in some stock investment research things, and the amount of times people are sharing job descriptions as part of their research, because then they figure out like this is what the company is looking for in the future. I find it quite interesting. Well, it happens way more often than I would have thought. So this is a tweet by Daniel Gross, who is at Meta. He's working on compute at Meta. And it's just like explaining what he's looking for in the future. And I just thought this was interesting as a way to confirm, if we're not aware already, just the direction that the world and even tech is going in the future. He said, I'm looking for folks with background in any of the following: deep learning, which kind of makes sense, right? You know, Meta's in that game. They've been doing their own LLM and things like that. But supply chains, commodities, semiconductors, sovereigns, energy, Excel, prediction markets, monitoring situations, etc. Candidates should have experience in at least one of these domains and novel ideas on how to apply LLMs to their work. And then, so this Akash Gupta wrote like just a bit of an explainer of their opinion and what this might have been indicating about where the world is going. He said this, which I thought was interesting. And he said he's hiring commodity traders, supply chain experts, and people who understand sovereign wealth funds for a compute desk. That skill mix only makes sense if you've stopped thinking about AI as a software problem and started thinking about it as a resource extraction problem. Meta committed $600 billion through to 2028, $200 million per day, every day for 3 years at that burn rate. Chip design and model architecture become secondary concerns. The binding constraint becomes securing the 20-year power agreements with nuclear plants, negotiating GPU allocation with TSMC when every other government on earth wants priority, and convincing Middle Eastern sovereigns to finance data centers in exchange for AI access. Now, look, the tweet goes on and says some other stuff, but I think this is interesting because a lot of the bets that are getting placed on AI has been like AI specific. And if you saw the other news today about, I forgot the lady's name. Is it someone Marathi? Is it Mina Marathi, the lady who used to be at OpenAI? She left, started another company with some OpenAI founders, who a number of them have now left. They raised like multi-billions because they were at OpenAI. That was the time OpenAI was super hot. Nedge, I don't know if you can pull up something on that at the moment. Find the lady's name. It's the company is called like Thinking Machines or something like this. Maybe someone in the comments will have an idea that will remind us. But basically, three or four of their Mira Marathi, that's the one. Mira Marathi's Thinking Machines lab is losing 2 of its co-founders. So when OpenAI was super hot, they managed to spin out, do their own thing, raise a ton of money for themselves. And so a lot of the money for a while was just like, oh, AI is super hot. Let's just like keep throwing money at AI, like AI companies, people who used to be AI companies. Let's build more models, more this, more that. And I think now people are getting to the point where they're saying, we know who the people are. Okay, ChatGPT will be a part of it because they've always been a part of it. Anthropic are clearly doing amazing stuff with Claude. Google has maybe become supreme already in that, or has like regained its supremacy. Meta is still doing their stuff as well. But the problem is not the LLMs, although obviously they're working towards it. It's all of the energy stuff behind the scenes. And so when we were talking about maybe transitioning capital allocation and where we're looking over the next year, I started talking in November, December about kind of energy first. Well, energy and defense. Energy and defense, I think these two things are wrapped together because when you're going to be creating all this energy and it's becoming so strategically important, defense is kind of simultaneously super important too. So it kind of shows how these tech companies are going to have to become increasingly political and really take a bigger diplomatic angle in their dealings moving forward, because it's not really only about tech now when you're in the competition for resource. So that was my thing I wanted to bring to the table today. Brett, I know you're clued up on the tech side, Ledge as well. So let's have some takes with both of you before we get into the main headlines.
Yeah, my interpretation, or like what my takeaway is, just like the magnitude of what's being done, right? And like the vision, right? It's like, yes, in that little response of like a 20-year vision talking about energy and stuff, it's just like, he who controls the LLM controls the world, man. Like if these people can take these AIs, these LLMs, and spin it into being proficient at basically everything, right? Like if they have that internally, they can take that and basically make everyone in the world dependent on them, right? Because this thing is going to be so far advanced beyond anything that like anyone at a desk can do on their own, right? Because like it is the aggregate that you are competing against, which like now, I mean, it justifies the spend, right? They're talking 200 million a day for 3 years. You only do that if the thing on the other side is even bigger, right? That justifies the spend. So not to say that they're spending it appropriately and that these are like not overspending, right? Like that's entirely within the realm of possibilities. The same thing that happened in the .com bubble with people building out infrastructure to prepare for like the internet apocalypse and like, whatever. But I still like, if you think about the gravity and like these guys clearly grasp that with what they're searching for and what they think they can do. And like you think of the implications of what a sufficiently advanced AI, like if they just keep like if they actually win, man, it is insane what like the next thing becomes, which is that a meta, because they control the tech. Yeah, man, they're talking about fucking sovereigns and like literally controlling the energy of the world because like everyone else is dependent on them because they can create these models that can either like sufficiently forecast like the cost of these things or project the best ways to go forward with, I don't know, even like innovations within a given field that is outside of their, like Meta is not a energy company, but if they can get these models to be like the best, right? If they create the best model, they now can become the best energy company, or like advise the energy companies and say, you come with us and we can like triple your production. I mean, obviously there's like some hard constraints in some of this stuff, like commodities, whatever. But like, man, I don't know, man. Like it's just so the gravity is becoming real to me with even just that small conversation there, I guess is my takeaway.
Interesting. Ledge, what's your take?
I feel very similar about this. It reminds me of something that I read as a kid, which is the Kardashev scale. Soviet astronomer came out with this thing in the 60s, and it's basically about what type of civilization are you. Like type 1, you use all the energy available on your planet. Type 2, you use your main sun's energy. Well, in our case, it is the sun. Type 3, you would use the entire energy, harness everything in your galaxy. And when I read this as a kid, I was like, what is this? What does this mean? Like, we use the energy and everything is fine. And Kardashev himself said, it was back in the 60s, obviously, we're like 0.7 type of civilization because we're not using all of the energy, not storing everything. And now this starts to become a bit more like realistic as we are actually talking about, okay, what can the Middle East do? Can they finance all of the energy needs? How nuclear can we go with that? Like it starts to get to a realistic point where this concept of using all of the energy that is available to us on our planet doesn't sound like science fiction anymore, but it's something we can talk about within the next few decades. And then like at one point answering the question, okay, what are we gonna do if we used all of that energy? Like what is next? We already talked about data centers in orbit as something that Elon XAI is looking into, also not being science fiction, but a realistic conversation that is happening at the same time, as we're doing the show, doing the market overview. And it has such a gravitas to it that it's, even though it's getting like more tangible, very, very hard to actually understand and grasp the societal change we're about to experience within the next years and decades.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay. I definitely wanted to bring that to people's attention because it was pretty pretty significant, I think, to just stay on top of it. And we do talk about it a lot, but we're going to keep on top of it as we move forward. Let's get into the main headlines. Before we do that, just want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. Today, we're excited to be sponsored by Yeet, the crypto casino that's done more than $1 billion in less than a year, founded by trusted names like Mando, KBM, and pro poker player Ben Lam. Reminder to only gamble for fun and what you're comfortable with. And to help there, we are giving out not up to $500 each week randomly to players active under the Modern Market affiliate link, which Legendary will put in the comments. So do check Yeet out. They have a number of crypto themed games and their sportsbook is live and running as well. So stay tuned for our giveaway at the end of today's show. We've done a lot of giveaways over the last few months. Each Friday, we've got another one today. There'll be $500 going to one of our affiliate link players. So stay tuned for that at the end of today's show. Before we get there, let's get into the first headline today, going straight to Brad on the bit of calm on crypto majors and stocks, but there's some activity heating up on chain. So what do we need to know here, Brad?
Yeah, so this was an interesting headline because the general question is like, okay, on chain's doing good. Where, why, what's going on? Can you sense any pockets of it? So the way that I went about it is I said, okay, let's see which blockchain ecosystems are trending up and or heating up in just general network revenue. So I went to Blockworks Analytics. I don't know if it's worth sharing, but you're showing the stuff there. But I went to Blockworks Analytics. I said, okay, which chains in the last couple of days, weeks is actually generating more revenue as a chain than everyone else? Here, I'll put it in chat just in case you're interested. So yeah, there you go. Perfect. So it's actually nothing crazy. So like, yes, we are starting to sense it. That's, what we get for being so close to the ground, right? So like we're getting these tingles before anything is actually meaningfully changed. You can see those Solana in that top left bar in the network revenue. Solana actually is trending up though. So I go, okay, Solana as a pocket is generating more revenue over the last few days. They're just under Hyperliquid and they're over, things like whatever. But you can see that they were bottoming out for a little bit there and they're trending up. So, okay, Solana is the hot ecosystem. So I took that and I go to some Dune dashboards and I say, which sectors inside of Solana are heating up? Typically, this is all DEX volumes, right? Because all this stuff is for trading. And in that, yes, it is meme coins, as you guys would know. Like we're starting to see whatever it is, the TikTok, Meta, whatever. And in that sector, I was like, okay, DEX volumes are picking up specifically for memes. Which memes, what's doing better? Are the actual memes like Launchpad's actually picking up? And if you go to, there's a meme coin war dashboard. I will also drop that in chat if you give a hoot. And on those dashboards, you can actually see that, yes, there is a notable uptick in daily graduates, in volume. And actually, that's even ever since October graduates was all the way down to 20 out of Pump Fund, and we are now up to 244 daily graduates on Pump Fund. So that's certainly heating up. And then the notable thing is that as a percent of market share, Bags app is starting to have a bonk-like resurgence. There you go. You can see there the Bags app has been around for a long time, and they have never had any meaningful volume or graduates or whatever. It's just been like a thing. But you can see that they're actually taking up a decent portion of the actual market share right now as far as like daily graduates go, and even some, I think they're at 11% right now. Bonk's down to 3%, and then Pump Fund 85% is the percentage of total. So I would just say, yes, it is starting to heat up. It is starting to heat up specifically on Solana, and in Solana in the meme coin sector, and in the meme coin sector, we're seeing Bags app, which is like part of the headline. So no mysterious things that are also coinciding with this coming up. It is literally Bags app is starting to heat up. I know TikTok Meta is something that we saw the last few days. I don't know if this specifically is part of that, but it is something to definitely watch because, again, remember, and I don't know, does Bags have a native token associated to them? Does anyone know?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I ask because, like, okay, so we're seeing bubbling. So it's like my thought process goes, okay, how do we front run this? Do we have to literally buy memes? Not interested. But if you recall how Bonk reacted, Bonk started to heat up. Bonk started to take mind share. The next thing is the price starts driving narrative. People go, oh my God, this thing is going to reinvent the wheel. It's going to take over Pump Fund. Things are going to get crazy. You can buy, if Bags has a native token, you probably buy the token. It's probably going to be talked about for the next like week and a half, and then you get ready to sell it very quickly, because that's just how this stuff always plays out. But we're starting to see bubbling. It's something to keep an eye on.
Also, just in line with that, Brad, you could also just buy Pump at the moment. Pump's been quite strong in the face of like everyone else drawing down a little bit today. And Pump has been quite strong, just like up a couple of percent again. If you look at the Pump chart, it's looking quite nice, showing strength against, the whole market's been, had a nice week or so, but Pump is like staying a bit stronger as they're seeing that uptick as well. So that's interesting. Ledge, maybe give your thoughts here on it. And maybe we should go straight into, I mean, given that Bread's referenced the Bags app so much, maybe we can go straight into your piece after you've given any additional thoughts, see how you want to do it, because I think that makes most sense.
Yeah, let's maybe give the context around Bags app and with Gastown, what's been going on there, and then give my thoughts on that cumulatively. So we do have a runner. Runners are back for the moment, and Gastown is the one that got the timeline talking, trading currently at a 42 mil FTV, went way higher than that, and it's obviously has existed for a while, but exploded recently, being up 1,000%. And the story behind that is a pretty interesting one. It started with this article by Steve Yagi, who is a very well-known developer, ex-Amazon, ex-Google, but mostly known for the fact that he writes very, very long and sometimes very, very entertaining articles that tend to do quite well and go viral. And this Gastown one is also a super long read, is a super interesting, super entertaining read. And the idea here basically is that he built a complex, almost Mad Max style AI orchestrator where you have a mayor, you are running a factory of AI agents with 20, 30, even more agents. All of that is this is what you call an orchestrator if you have one agent basically supervising other agents doing agentic work. And he built this tool which is to be used with Claude Code, wrote this super, super long article on it, which again is also entertaining to read because it has quite some nerdy stuff in there. And what then also has happened is that on Bags app, a gas token was created, and this wasn't done by him, but he did reference it in another article, which he posted a day ago, called Bags and the Creator Economy. And he says in there, I was in a Gastown thread on LinkedIn on Monday and noticed that one of the commenters was saying something along the lines of, yo, Steve, you have 49K in Bags and you might want to claim it. And he was mildly annoyed, wanted to ignore that. But also someone was mentioned in there that basically caught his attention. He read about that. He found out what it is. And then he basically said, okay, he is making money of that simply by describing that this is happening. He's not endorsing to buy crypto, but he's very happy that people are doing that. And he is basically in this article kind of embracing it, if not telling anyone to buy crypto, but if you're supporting Gastown, I hope you all get rich by that, is basically the vibe of that. And obviously him having this Medium article out on that and specifically mentioning the token and taking I would say, somewhat positive stance to it, even talking about creator economy, talking about the Gastown token, and saying that he's delightful. He's delighted about that situation. Happy for the Gastown gas community on X for their support in Gastown, and is not shutting that off. So that definitely helped with that, and also I feel boosted this entire revival of the AI meta that we're seeing right now. Let me get this other post up on screen in a second, because all of this like coding, Claude Code and agentic mega trend is leading to other tokens and to new theses being formulated around that. And Spicer is posting something like Gas is the big institution orchestration layer for AI agents. It's insanely cracked, well-connected, respected dev. It has viral utility. Sol is still the goat of this meta. It's being kept alive by Claude. Then you have Ralph being the junior dev orchestration layer for AI agents, also very good dev and tech, widely used. And you have VVM, virtual vibe machine, new declarative language for agent controls per request of Claude CO, also working on orchestration layer. So I feel like we are now in this mini sub meta of the AI space where we are pumping AI orchestration tokens.
What on earth is going on with bags and gas and orchestration? I have a few takes here, not to dampen the parade, because I think this actually is going to have some legs. That's my actual thought. So point number one is I think this is going to have some legs. We've been talking the last few days, like the conditions are ready for something to start moving. Like people want to press bid again. I think I pressed bid on some things, Bitcoin and hype primarily in the last few days. I think people are pressing the bid button. They want to press the bid button. As soon as Trump was going for Powell, people are like, right, everyone can go for everything. Let's just go for it. That's my read on the situation. But so that I think there's legs to it. However, the counterpoint, which maybe everyone is already aware of, but maybe we'll just point it out for people, so for when we're right, we can say that we were. I don't think you can just say orchestration a bunch and make stuff valuable. They think it sounds really good, and I think it's a nice word. I like an orchestra. I think orchestration is a good verb. Also, it's not going to make anything valuable. Second, what does viral utility mean? I'm still looking at this post. Viral utility doesn't. That's not a thing. That's not a. That just doesn't. It literally makes no sense.
I think they're trying to say that viral, like it has virality potential.
Yeah, it is viral. Like,
yeah,
the utility is that it goes viral, but I mean, we've always known that. So basically, there's nothing new here. Now we're saying, okay, well, there's these orchestration layers for AI agents, and we're jumping on it because, I don't know, junior devs, big institution, orchestration layer. Like, none of this stuff really means anything. Virtual vibe machine, literally putting it in inverted commas because self-aware enough to know that it doesn't make any sense. However, so that's my main take.
What the token ticker stands for, VVM, is virtual vibe machine, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's literally telling you that there's nothing there, right? It's just it's in the name. And then my final take is, look, we actually do that. And this is maybe a more important take for the people who are getting involved. People love it when people from the outside come into the space because it's like, oh, we're getting adoption, we're getting new people. How fun and exciting is that? It only ends up bad for the people we bring in. It only ends up bad. The people who like, they initially hate crypto because they think it's a scam. And then the people who are like, oh, okay, cool, it's cool that you'll make money, but I don't like, I'm not going to do it, or I'm not going to recommend it to you, but I'm happy for you. We are going to pull this person in. We're going to strangle them. We're going to bring them into the industry, tell them everything's going to be fine. Just pump your token. Don't worry about it. Just pump the token. And then they're going to get sick of it in 45 days time, realize like, this is an insane thing to be doing with my life. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, we did literally have run this in a variety of ways. So good luck to the dev here. I hope. In fact, I do think it would be interesting to have the conversation. I would be fascinated to have the conversation because I'm interested in what this person builds. As Legendary says, he like writes interesting stuff. And curious to what extent he's familiar with crypto and what his perception is on it. Is he aware of like how these things usually go? That would be the concern for me. But as I said, I think this is going to run. We'll circle back to you, Legend, in a sec, because you brought this to our plate. But Brad, what do you think?
I only heard the one snippet about like bringing people in and strangle them, and I would like to say that the exception.
I said a lot more things, Brad. That was the only thing that.
That's what stood out to me, because I was like, well, that's not technically correct. Like, what happens is there's two paths you can take, right? You can come in. The crypto's allure is always the money, right? There's usually like the first step is usually like, and even it was in that post, is like, claim your money, do your thing.
The money's there,
do whatever.
Man. The money's there.
It's on the tree. Go pop it off the tree. It's free. It's easy. Nice. If you do that, or if you launch the meme coin, collect the tree money, and then immediately eject, you win. Like you're great. But where like that, and there are people that do that, right? So people are like, bro, I'm collecting this thing. I do not want to touch any of this shit. Thank
See you later, guys.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Like that guy did the post of like, I just launched a meme coin. I dumped it for 30 grand. Good luck. See you guys in whatever. He's like, and he moved to New York or whatever. Then there's the us, and I believe all of us have this trajectory. And I'm speaking to people in the crowd as well, where it's like, you do that, you see the money on the tree, you pluck it, and you go, there's probably more of this somewhere back in here. And then you start plucking, and then you eventually start pouring in money, and you're like, I'm taking my money from my other pile, I'm gonna put it in here, because if I do that, my tree grows bigger, and then my tree will grow more money, and then like you do the thing, and then like there's usually a downslope on the other side of that where you hate it, you've done too much, you burned, you lost money in some way, you're now like stuck in the industry, and then you can come out the other side if you continue to stick with it. So like there's a valley there to be aware of, and that's where most people eject.
You've seen it a lot of times. Ledge, what proportion of your portfolio should go into orchestration in the next few months?
I don't know. I think we're seeing the same thing which we have seen with this like change of attention when it comes to the traditional memes, the alive animals, the dead animals. And we go into this nerdy side of things, and we talk about all these agentic frameworks, AI frameworks, that get to a point where I'm pretty sure that 99% of people holding that don't understand what the Vibe virtual machine is, where you have this description of design declarative language for agent control flows, write an interpreter for it, distribute the whole thing as a skill. Pretty sure that not a lot of people understand what is exactly going on there, and whether that is cool or not cool, but it sounds cool. And at some point we will get exhausted with that, and then we'll probably rotate out of the orchestration portfolio. For this time now on the other side of things, I'm not on the trading side of things. I'm actually on the, I'm using a ton of things, but I should spend more of my attention, because this is natural, right? If I'm using this stuff, and for now I don't understand all of that, but I would say I have an above average understanding by now, to leverage that into trading, and leverage that orchestration meta, if you want to call it like that. But I also want to give a shout out to VX Crypto in the YouTube comments, having a couple more critical takes on that. So on the vibe coding stuff in general, VX is saying the space will soon realize that vibe coding is still an illusion, very expensive and hard to ship a real scalable, secure product from pure prompting. And specifically on this orchestration meta tokens, good utility, but none of these products implement any crypto functionality.
Yeah, fair points. Very, very fair points. We were talking in the Telegram yesterday. Someone was talking about vibe coding stuff with smart contracts. It's like, there's no way my smart contracts will touch a vibe coded app. Like absolutely zero chance. I'm getting super discerning even on the non-vibe coded apps that I want to interact with, because you have like really reputable ones that exist now. You don't need to go and try every single thing anymore. So I think it's, very, very fair criticisms. Appreciate that. Look, we've only got a few minutes left of the show today, so let's get into the final headline, and then we've got our Yeet giveaway, $500 going to one of our affiliate link users in just a little bit. We do that every Friday at the moment, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Final headline for the day is this news that Bitmine expects $400 million of income on ETH holdings, and they've invested $200 million in YouTube star Mr. Beast company. So the news here specifically is that Tom Lee thinks that this is a no-brainer investment. He said, I think we're easily going to make a moonshot return on that, which is 10x. He said he's the iconic creator of our generation, pointing to the potential value of connecting ETH to younger audiences across Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and millennials. He also shared that, this is from the CoinDesk article, the partnership could include Bitmine sponsoring Mr. Beast's flagship show, Beast Games, and securing future upside in products developed by the company. Allegedly, according to the article, also, Bitmine is also planning to launch a mobile app, though the details remain limited, and continue to make moonshot investments in the tokenization sector. So the interesting things for me here is, these funds at Bitmine are not only being used to buy ETH, they're also being used to make these, quote, moonshot investments. And it looks like Tom Lee's able to secure some pretty excellent stuff. I'm pretty sure they invested in something earlier this year. I can't remember what it was. I should find it. It was also like something that appeared to be an exceptional investment. It looks like he's going to get outstanding deal flow. And maybe that's what happens when you get to be you know, the #1 ETH holder in the world. You have so many eyes on you. You become this kind of prized prized seed round investor, angel investor, however you want to describe it. So it looks like that's going to continue. So a bet on Bitmine is not actually only a bet on ETH in a sense. You're also kind of betting on Tom Lee going off and making more of these moonshot investments, and hopefully these moonshot investments working out. And I would suspect that if he continues to do ones like these, or was able to get this kind of deal flow, it might work out better than people think. So obviously a risky strategy. I didn't know that that was part of the mandate, when the mandate was mostly to just keep buying ETH, get to 3% holdings, 4% holdings, and 5%, I think, ultimately. But that looks to be part of it. And I think it's actually decent to go after these other things if your mandate allows you to, especially if the quality of the investments are good. So that's my take. Ledge, do you have a view here before we get into the Yeet giveaway?
Yeah, I'm just bringing up the chart for Bitmine. Down. It's it's pretty flat on the month. It's down 5% over the last day.
Is it still smashed based, like, you know how Sharplink and Bitmine went really, really high at once, and then how far down is it from, like, if we look on the year,
I mean,
how high did it go?
Ignore this all-time high at 135. I mean, you can't ignore it, but this is how high it went. And then
okay, but in that other period,
Europe, it traded at around like 60, 50, and now we are down to 30. So
to be honest, down 50% is not as bad as I thought. I think that's, yeah.
I mean, if you compute from all-time high from 135, we're down 75-ish%.
Yeah, that was right out the gate, more or less, right? Interesting. Brett, do you have a view here on Bitmine kind of expanding out, not only buying ETH, going into these moonshot style investments as well?
I do. I'm conflicted though, right? So like we know the biggest problem with these DATs is the balancing between the stock, their holdings, and dilution there in order to raise funds, in order to pump it back into hopefully the underlying token.
Yep.
I would say so. I endorse this because one, I endorse it to a level. Right. If you look at what Saylor's done, Saylor has accessed a different vehicle for raising funds that in order to get value, to be able to buy more Bitcoin, to acquire more, to build the more Bitcoin per share that he is able to raise, right? Without actually just like straight up diluting the holders of his stock. So you want people for these DATs, you want these people to come up with creative ways to raise funds to eventually buy more of the underlying, because you do want them to have more of the underlying without having to dilute everyone to acquire more of the underlying, right? That's just the goal. Get money, however the hell you can get the money. We were hoping or thinking, speculating that these people would do it through on-chain activities, right? They would stake, they would participate in DeFi, it would generate yield, they would do whatever. That generates the income. That income can be used to acquire more. You can build up this like self-sustaining liquidity building thing. Now, that said, like this seems like a creative and lucrative way to raise funds outside of what is the mandate of the vehicle, which is just like acquire as much ETH as possible. So that is good. I worry he goes too far down the risk curve to do this, or it takes up a larger percentage of the portfolio that it is no longer an ETH treasury thing, which is what everyone is like. That's the packaging. That's what's on the packaging, right? That's what everyone's thinking is going on here. But if it becomes overweight because he's not actually like executing the sell on the other side of investing inside of Beast Industries to then acquire a bunch of ETH whenever ETH is depressed, then he is not doing his mandate, in my opinion. And so it's something to monitor. It's creative. It's good. I'm glad he's doing this instead of just like straight up selling shares and diluting everyone. But if it becomes too much, then it is too much, and it's not something I want to participate in, because then it is just like a Tom Lee venture bet, like, bro, go wild out with money. I don't care if it's going crazy on Mr. Beast or buying what he bought, like Say or Sui Dat or World Dat. He bought into World.
That was the other one I was thinking of.
So this is like the second instance of him going out to do some stuff in an investment that he thinks is a good investment. if he can repeat it, awesome. But like that's a one-way trip to getting murked if you just like continuously go down and like do these wild investments for wild returns to eventually come back with.
Yeah, it's also a liquidity thing, right? Like now that money's tied up, $200 million tied up.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the fund is very, very large, the amount of funds that they've raised, but it's now tied up. You don't know when you're going to see that again. It could be a very, very long time. So they're liquid on that. And if they continue to do that, then it'll be more liquid. But, you know, that's something they're going to have to think about. Good points, I think. Now, that is the end of the show. Run over a little bit of time today, but we've got to get to our Yeet giveaway. Legendary, take it away. What do we need to know? Shout out to our partners at Yeet for sponsoring another giveaway on a Friday for us. What is the situation?
Yep, it is the end of the week. We have one more thing to do, which is to find out who is taking away the $500 from the Yeet giveaway. Taking a look at the leaderboard, we can see that Funky is or has done his usual 25K in volume. Atari got strong in the second place, 20K volume. Phonics in the third place with 10K in volume, and quite some more people. J Mouse, J-Lo with a couple K in volume, and then 18 participants in total. Also, shout out to Ollie for since the start being consistent with $1 of volume a week to be part of the raffle. And this is all it takes to be part of the raffle. Although we do apply some volume weighting, and we are ready to spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Who is winning $500 to put into Cloud Code credits or do other things with that? Ooh, this is going to be funky.
It is.
It is funky.
That was a close one between Phonics and Funky. Funky is the winner. Congratulations.
Thanks. Sorry, Atari.
Sorry, Atari, with apologies. It has been going between, actually, it was JLo last week. Phonics has been back after a long break. I think Phonics is a big better in general. Did a ton of volume before he was on our ref link, unfortunately. But I think he's back, sneaking back into the chart, and has got himself a couple of wins as well. So congrats to Funky though. As usual, Funky, you know the process. This will come out to you in the next couple of days once we've coordinated with the Yeet team. Congrats, shout out to Yeet again for partnering with us. If you want to participate in the next couple of editions, we will, the affiliate link will be in the comments. Legendary has put it there. So please do sign up and only gamble what you are prepared to lose, and do so responsibly. With that out of the way, it's been a wonderful week. It's been good to be back, been good to have a bit more bullish energy. Thank you to my co-host Legendary and Bread. Thank you to Yeet for partnering with us today. And thank you to you guys in the audience. We do this every single day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time, live on X Video, YouTube, and you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, and TikTok. Please like and subscribe across all those venues. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back same time, same place on Monday. See you then. Bye-bye.